The man picked up a stone weighing several hundred pounds and forcefully threw it into the well. Then he used the splashing water to wash his hair, but the water either splashed outside, it's just splashing on his pants. But he couldn't give up, because he wanted to stay in Shaolin to learn Kung Fu. He had to use this method to clean his hair, so he could only lift the stone again and again, and throw it into the well again and again, regardless of day or night. Finally, after a month of throwing the stone, he finally figured out the rhythm of the splashing water. Now he could predict where the water would splash. At this point, he could not only wash while standing, but even sit on the well to wash, and even wash while upside down. The man thus developed extraordinary arm strength. A several hundred-pound stone felt like foam. At this point, he finally cleaned his hair. The next day, he urgently sought out the Shaolin master and told him that he had passed the test. But the master noticed something was amiss, suddenly reached out to grab his hair. The man quickly dodged. Through a month of using the stone to create splashes for washing, he had not only built super strong arms, but also mastered a nimble body technique. He pleaded with the master to teach him Kung Fu. The master only smiled at him and reached for his hair again. Taking the opportunity, the master cupped his face and removed his wig. It turned out the man had already shaved his head and deceived the master into thinking his hair was still there. The man feared he would be expelled from Shaolin, but unexpectedly, the master allowed him to stay and assigned him to build a bamboo shed in the courtyard. But until the shed was completed, he could not enter the training hall. The man thought he could become the master's disciple after finishing the shed, so he began to build diligently. But when he saw the disciples below practicing arm strength, he couldn't help but imitate them from above. But soon his hands were cut by the bamboo. Unexpectedly, despite the pain, he kept imitating their every move, even during nighttime rest. The next day, while building the shed, he saw the disciples below practicing leg techniques, so he tied his legs to the bamboo poles with bamboo strips and kept imitating their every move. When he saw them practicing with wooden dummies, the man built one with bamboo poles. He learned exactly as others practiced. Although the master forbade him from entering the training hall, he secretly learned Kung Fu while building the shed. A year later, he finally finished the shed, but the master ordered him to dismantle all the sheds. The man was furious. He jumped into the courtyard to argue with the master. The master had people surround him and expelled him from Shaolin Temple. It turned out the man had deep attachments and was unsuitable for monastic cultivation. The master had him build the sheds precisely to allow him to secretly learn Kung Fu. With no other choice, the man turned and left. He never understood the master's good intentions in the end.